These are the Energon weapons from the Energon series, and obviously these will form the appendages of Superion, which I will show you later. But looking at the plane itself, you've got obviously the port there for the little Energon chips. And one thing I forgot to mention as well, 5 planes in the box, only 4 Energon chips. So someone's being a cheapskate there, I think. Anyhow, back to AirRaiser. Downside, a lot of kibble. Obviously you can see his 2 fists, they've made no attempt to hide them at all. I mean, one disappointing thing I will say about this is, apart from the kibble, the fists and so forth, they could have so easily have pop-out fists, slide-away fists, pop-on fists, any kind of fists you wanted, but they've decided just to simply mould them on and just stick them on without making any attempt to hide them, which is really disappointing, I've got to say. But I think ultimately it's the combined Gestalt form which really is what we're going to look at. I mean, that's what makes a Gestalt is a combined form. But it's nice when you get in. I mean, for example, Predaking is probably one of the most loved combiners purely because of its size and the alt modes, the beast modes of each individual. You know, they just look fantastic, but the robot modes simply let it down. But ultimately, it is the combined Gestalt mode which makes it what it is, I suppose. Anyway, that's AirRaiser. Again, AirRaiser's exact same design, just different colour scheme there with the dark grey and the red. Moving on, we've got Skydive and Fireflight. Yeah, not what I can say about these. I mean, I don't know what it's supposed to be. A-10 tank bombers. I'm only guessing because of the Gatling gun at the front. I think it's A-10 tank bombs. Can't remember, but it's got that kind of look anyway. Again, with this stupid Energon weapon on the top. You know, it has a little notch there. I mean, this is actually on a swivel, but it's got a little notch there. The back, this little yellow thing there, just to keep it in place. But even so, it doesn't even look like a weapon. I don't know what the hell it's supposed to be. I mean, really. You can either wear it on top or have it on the wing, which really makes it look stupid. It really does. I mean, it flips about on there and it makes the plane look lopsided. You know, it just doesn't add anything to the plane at all. And also the wings are at an angle. I don't know whether it's just mine, but both of these, you know, they're kind of almost forming a V shape. You can't really straighten them out either, because you know that's what happens really. But I mean, this has got some weird purple lilac scheme going on there, and this is like a chocolate and burgundy with a bit of grey. Not a big fan of these colour schemes at all. They could have done so much better. Anyway, that's them in there. Right, there you go. This is all the Transformers, all the aerial bots transformed to their robot modes. Start off with Superion, obviously the leader of the aerial bot. Sorry about the lighting, it's not brilliant in here. I've told an angle really to see the figures. I mean, head sculpt's not that bad. One thing I was going to say was that obviously this was made under the Revenge of the Fallen branding. However, obviously it doesn't fall in line in terms of the design of the faces, which really pisses me off about Hasbro. If you're gonna, I mean, obviously they're gonna milk certain molds and rehash them out again. You know, universe line, fair enough, and so forth. But if you're gonna stick with one concept, stick with it. Obviously, you've got the mechanical or alien-looking robot modes of the Revenge of the Fallen movie line, and then you've got the humanoid robotic faces of all the other lines, so it really doesn't fall into place. But anyhow, this figure is shit. to put it bluntly. It could have been so much better if they put a little bit more money, a little bit more effort into it itself. There, I mean, look at the kibble. I mean, there's just so many empty holes in the arm there. I mean, you can see the landing gear itself there. That's the fist. You know, you can only really recognise the fist. I mean, it's got a hole there. He doesn't actually have his own weapon either. You know, all the little ones obviously have their own weapons, but he has nothing at all. Which is a shame. I mean, he can hold the other energon weapons, but as I said, he doesn't have his own weapons in any form, in any way at all, which is a shame. Obviously, the biggest problem that a lot of people have is the big, massive gap in his sides there, which even I think is disastrous. It just doesn't do the figure any justice whatsoever at all. Mobility-wise, articulation, what you would, it's exactly what you expect. 360 on the arms, on the legs, and so forth. He's got a ratchet system on his leg itself there, so nice and stiff. However, I find a lot of these pieces here very floppy. Very poorly designed, poorly made. Again, the same on the other figures as well. But yeah, really disappointed in that. As you can see, even if he did have a weapon, he wouldn't be able to hold it. Well, there's not really much to add, really. I even prefer, no matter how blocky he looks, Generation 1 Silverbolt wins hands down against this version. He really does. Obviously when they designed this Superion, they designed it so that there are no spare parts. Every part is used, as opposed to the Generation 1 Superion, where you had the added fist, the added head, which you had to keep somewhere safe, otherwise you'd lose them. With this figure, everything is used, bar the energon chips, which obviously you could put them on, but I can't be asked. I mean, even the feet are hideous. And there's not really much can really. I mean, it's just a terrible figure. It really is. As said, it is the combined mode, which which is the main reason why you buy a Gestalt as opposed to the individual modes, because it's not. If you do have them display, you're going to have them in the combined mode as opposed to the individual modes. But even so, not too keen on this figure. Moving on. I'll do Skydive. He's got these like little a turret gun kind of thing, which I forgot to mention is on the undercarriage of the plane, which just gives him kind of Ghostbusters look, really. If you want to hold it that way, otherwise, pretty nice face sculpt on there itself there. I've already mentioned I don't like the colour scheme. Again, the gaping holes, which they could have filled in really easily. Obviously, that's the jet from the plane. How easy would have put a hinge on there just to flip it out of the way to reveal the fist in there? But they're not even bothered to do that. I really wish there's some way to remove that, twist it off, flick it over, anything but that. It's just hideous, absolutely hideous. Good job these guys don't have a penis. Otherwise, could you imagine trying to wank with a massive fan going off like that? Other than that, there's not really much to add. Again, it's not a bad figure, but it's not a decent figure either.